Here's Jung de Plume out of packaging, and wow, this guy really looks fantastic. As I said, this is my first de Plume, and my only experience previously is with the Tomorrow Kings, and while they're nice in this scale, the versions I have are all sort of like the exclusives, the hard to find ones. That just happen to be the ones that I was able to get my hands on. So they don't really feel like they're representative of the art of Ashley Wood, whereas this guy absolutely does. Paint job is fantastic. He's got this really subtle, like small scale camouflage on his pants and on his sleeve here, and to a degree on his helmet, with some nice rust on there. I've actually turned on autofocus here, which normally doesn't work very well on this camera, but I'm going to try it and we'll see what we get. Get you a nice up-close look at him. You can see it's trying to focus and not really doing a great job. But when it's in focus, it looks nice. Hey! Let's take a look at his pistol real quick. Kind of cool, sort of Blade Runner-ish. Sort of a weird backwards SAA grip there. Kind of a sliding mag almost looks like, or sliding mag slide. Almost like a Glock on the back, but with revolver chambers there. Sort of like a hybrid of a 45, like a Colt 45, a Colt SAA, and a Glock. So, interesting. He's got a holster back here on his belt, which the pistol fits into pretty nicely. There we go. The Velcro on this scale doesn't seem to work very well. The Velcro patches here, if this will work at all on the autofocus, they're kind of too wide, too spread apart, so they're not really grabbing onto the loops. But it's all right. It works better here than it does on the side. The side, these pouches here, kind of crazy. Not really wanting to lock down, but anyway, figure looks great. Like you can see, his helmet looks fantastic. Nice rust pattern here. Man, that's really going crazy. What I was talking about with the camouflage here on the legs. Kind of a woodland pattern. No, not so woodland. I don't know. Maybe something Canadian, maybe. Very nice, though. Got some kind of a mustard yellow, dark brown, maybe a couple greens in there. Very nice. The classic 3A shirt on all the de Plumes. His is in red and blue, and with a brown base and 3A on the back. Looks very nice. I do have to say, articulation is pretty nice. He didn't have any stuck joints, nothing that made me feel like I was going to break him. You know, just obviously, especially with these shipping in the cold, be careful when you first move them. You might want to let them acclimate to room temperature before you really get going on them. But the way I see it, he's got a ball jointed head, which is jointed at the neck. Or, I'm sorry, like at the base of the neck, as opposed to the head itself. You can kind of see he's got maybe blonde hair up in there. Is that possible to be seen? Probably not. But it looks like he's got kind of a blonde, maybe sandy blonde, brown hair, light brown hair. But yeah, he's got a really nice focus, really nice range of motion on the neck here. You know, he's not hindered at all by his hose here that goes down to the pouch in his, or his air tank in his pouch, which does seal not bad. From what I can tell under here, it's got really nice forward and back movement in the shoulder. It feels like a ball joint within the chest piece, similar to Microman ball joints, the modern Micromans. So because it feels like it's got some up and down movement too. I might be crazy. It may just be a hinge going back and forth, but that's what it feels like. That paint is kind of tacky on that shirt. We've got a nice swivel hinge on the shoulder. swivel again in the bicep, double jointed elbows. We've got a swivel hinge swivel similar to a Voltec joint in the wrists, so you can got a lot of nice movement out of the wrist. You can pretty much do whatever you want with the wrists. They look great. The hands are a nice soft rubber, very, very pliable, good for holding weapons and whatnot. Double joint there. His waist, it feels like there's a joint here, but like in the mid chest. I don't know, it's kind of hard to tell. But he's definitely got a really nice ball jointed waist. Oh, I don't like that clicking, but I'm sure it's alright. He's got a, feels like swivel hinge, swivel thighs. There's the swivel on the top of the thigh. Double hinge knees. And only a swivel boot. The Tomorrow Kings have really nice ball joints in their feet, which do fall out a lot, but are still cool. But because of the boot being a solid piece, and I guess being based off the 12-inch version, because all 1/6 boots, they never have any kind of joints. Basically, this just fits right over top of the sleeve where the ball would go if you were, if you had a Tomorrow King. So, I don't know if this drawstring actually works. I'm kind of hesitant to pull on it, but if it does go down around the boot, if the pant leg is able to go around the boot, it will be very difficult. I wasn't able to do it when I was just fiddling with it before I started the video, but yeah, this figure looks great. He feels solid, very, very light, which is kind of nice. I'm not really so concerned about him toppling off of my shelf, you know, if something were to happen. He might be a little difficult to stand because of his ankle joints, but I mean, you can kind of get some subtle posing out of him. I had him kind of like that when the video started, and that wasn't too hard to get going. You know, the twisting in the ankles definitely helps. Now I'm not going to be able to get him to stand. It's like every video, dude. What the hell? Alright, well, the de Plume looks great. Excellent sculpt. Really nice paint. Unfortunately, I don't know, you probably won't be able to see this, but I am getting some flakes down here from the paint, which I'm guessing is probably just because it's new and rubbing off his boots and whatnot, but paint job looks flawless, looks fantastic to me. Really dig these, if you can see these gloves. They're sort of cuffed over. Come on, focus. Sort of cuffed. Kind of neat looking. Trigger hand, very cool. Yeah, this guy just looks really nice. I'm really into it. The clothes on this scale kind of remind me of Spiral Zone, and that's always cool. Focus. I have the worst luck getting my toys to stand on video. There we go. So this is Jung de Plume in his, I guess if you want to call it Jungler camo. Looking awesome, and yeah, I dig this guy. So like we were going to try with the packaging video, should be something right up in this area if you want to see packaging, down in this area if you want to see the drop cloth. Thanks, guys.